Welcome to FX Options University, recorded live at the International Securities Exchange, the world's largest equity options exchange. Join the industry's top trading professionals as they provide insight and strategies for trading in the currency markets using FX options. FX options are a low-risk alternative to hedging currency moves in any market condition.
Hi, everyone. This is Yelena Levine taking over for Steve Meisinger from the ISC. I wanted to welcome you this afternoon. Thank you for joining us. We're excited to have with us Jason Ayres, an independent trader and investor for over 10 years, who will be presenting on spotting currency trends for FX options. Jason is president and founder of OptionSource.net and has been providing education and opportunities in the stock and options market over the last 5 years. OptionSource is one of Canada's leading educators in trading stocks, options, futures, forex, and commodities. In addition to overseeing the day-to-day operations of OptionSource.net, he actively advocates and promotes the use of options for managing risk, cash flow, and leverage. This includes the development of numerous strategic relationships with some of the most prominent brokerages and exchanges in North America. His expertise extends to standard equity, currency options, and commodity options. Jason also currently hosts our highly popular FX Options Weekly Outlook podcast series every Monday morning. I'm going to turn it over to Jason.
Well, thanks, Yelena. I couldn't have said that better myself. You'd almost think that I scripted it out and sent it to you guys. That's fantastic. It's actually nice to hear your voice, and I hope everything's good with Steve. He's always it's always a treat to host a session with him, but it's a nice change to have you online as well, for sure.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Well, listen, I guess if everything is good, I can just move forward with this evening's session. Is that how you want to proceed?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks everybody for joining us here this evening. As mentioned, my name is Jason Ayres of OptionSource.net, and we've, in fact, not just been necessarily trading or investing for 10 years, but we've been educating in the Toronto area on the use of stocks, options, futures, and currencies and the like for 10 years. So been around for a while, and very happy with the relationships that we've established with of course, the International Securities Exchange. So without any further ado, let's move forward to with this evening's session here, which is, of course, spotting currency trends for FX options. And really, as always, before we move forward, I'm going to look at some very sort of up-to-date and relevant and recent price charts of a few pair values in particular. And I just want everybody to understand that it's for educational purposes only. And of course, I'm not trying to telegraph my expectations as to what direction these currencies are going to go. And with that out of the way, let's just first kind of touch base about the ISC FX options. What's great about the FX options that is a little different from accessing the standard spot market currency pairs is the fact that they're mostly accessible through many of your typical brokers. So again, you definitely want to check with who you're currently trading or investing with. But these FX options are highly accessible. They're exchange-listed securities. They're cash settled in U.S. dollars, so ultimately on expiration or at any time that you feel that it's appropriate to exit your trade, the difference is settled in U.S. dollars. They're European-style exercise because they trade essentially on a notional index, which means that there are, in fact, no shares to exchange hands, and they can be traded as spreads as well. And that's one of the great benefits about understanding the dynamics of the options market. Of course, we're not going to focus on spread trading here this evening, but the nice thing about these currency options, these FX options, is the fact that other than the covered call strategy, which requires you to be able to own the underlying shares of the particular security, you can do a lot of really fancy strategies if you feel they're appropriate. Now, moving forward, as we also mentioned, we do a technical overview of the FX options pair values on a weekly basis, and our focus is really to use simple techniques to determine the probabilities of direction, and that's really what technical analysis is all about, and that's what we're going to focus on this evening. Now, I like to use the analogy that as a technical analyst, we really are sort of like crime scene investigators in the sense that when we're looking to find or to establish a particular directional bias, we want to make sure that we build a case for that directional bias, not unlike the folks that are investigating a crime scene. They don't just look for one clue and they convict and try to move forward to take the suspect to court. What they do is they build a case, they make sure that case is airtight, and then they move forward. The other thing that we always really try to do and try to focus on is keeping an open mind. And the fact is, it's very easy to get caught up when you've spent a lot of time and effort trying to establish a particular position in the market or a particular directional bias to believe that you're going to be right. And the key to being successful in any market, whether it's trading FX options or equities or equity options, is recognizing that this is a business about in dealing with probabilities, and that we always have to have an appropriate entry strategy as well as an appropriate exit strategy before we actually place any of our own capital into the markets. Now, we're going to focus on technical analysis this evening and really break it down to the sort of the key principles that we always encompass when we're looking at trying to find an opportunity. And one thing that I can assure you is that the approach that we take when we're looking at opportunities using FX options is the same approach when we're looking at standard equity options or equities themselves or even futures or commodity futures. It's just really about having a process in place, studying the market action, if you will, establishing a directional bias by paying attention to really the open, the close, the high, low. In this case, I've got stock prices, but we're looking, of course, at the ISE FX option pair values and how they're plotted on a chart. And once you understand the dynamics of this type of trading or of analyzing the market for opportunities, you really find that you can apply this information to various time frames. So again, the principles that we look at and that we consider, we actually extrapolate not just on a one-year daily chart that we're going to be looking at here this evening, but we can even break it down if we're trading spot market currencies for that matter, or if we're looking at shorter plays in the futures market as well. Now, the bottom line is that these individual bars that we're looking at will form trends or particular patterns, and traditionally these patterns, if you will, tend to precede certain market moves, and the idea is that when we see these trends establishing and we're looking at these patterns establishing, this is really what we use to help us determine a particular market direction.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. Get trading ideas, exchange rates, webinars, news, and commentary. Visit www.fxoptions.com. ISE FX options can be easily traded through all options-enabled brokerage accounts. These exchange-listed securities are cash-settled in U.S. dollars and have a European-style exercise.